Yes, sir.
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, now grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Yeah, what's going on, people? Today, we're gonna talk about some stuff today. Yeah, we got some breaking news. I'm testing out different things. So Saturdays would be like my test out stuff. Share it out. Everybody, share it out. All right. So let me see what up, King? What up, gang? What's going on? Everybody got a chance to come out yesterday. I appreciate each and every last one of you that got a chance to come out and play Call of Duty with us, some Tekken with us, stuff like that, some Fortnite. I'm going to be testing stuff like that. You know, Fridays is community days. I wanted to get in some Halo. And we're going to talk about how the problem was to get into a good Call of Duty match and how long it took. And if you guys watched it, you saw. Then also, you know, I was having some problem with the sound. It only happened with Tekken happened, so that was kind of weird. So I got to work that out. But other than that, everything was working fine. And listen, a lot of times people think it's just for members. Nah, man, it's not just for members. It's really for everybody, right? So I just members dictate pace, right? So if you're a member, you dictate pace. Yeah, fanboy. Yeah, Sony fanboy narratives. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. So I see all your stuff, what y'all saying. All right. Move that over a little bit more. Let me see that. Yeah. All right. So remember the big controversy that I was having with Nintendo when they was making this game? And it's wild. Because did they gender swap Link? And I'm just saying, like, this is a conversational talking piece because they told you that Zelda wasn't going to be replacing Link. It was more of, you know, a Zelda game. And Zelda had her own powers and she had her own stuff and she was having her own quest. And then, shout out to Isaiah Colbert, Nintendo will give Zelda her own sword. After all the conversation, so really, what makes her different from Link? If Link has a sword, now Zelda has a sword. I'm trying to figure out, because you remember, Nintendo was opposed to all that DEI or DIE crap. And is this their way of sliding that and getting that to us, right? I'm trying to figure out, did Nintendo pull a fast one? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying call it out as you see it, right? Because listen, the demographic is this. If you looked at the demographic of the Xbox fan base, right, y'all can pretty much get a chance to see exactly a peek or a window peek into the demographics of all of gaming. It was 55 men and 45 women. So if you have a big enough fan base of that magnitude, of course you're supposed to make games that's geared towards women. I'm not saying that you don't. But this part here is you said one thing and it seems to be another. And I'm trying to figure out, for the life of me, why wouldn't you just say it? Because in the modern day, it's problematic for a hero to save it. Nah, it's not problematic. You know what it is? It's okay. If we hear something enough that we believe it's to be true, right? Like the PlayStation is winning. When you hear that enough, you do start to run around with the narrative and believe it to be true. I had a conversation with this guy inside one of the. If y'all look at the last, I think it was the last Friday show. No, Thursday show. And he put a comment there. He said, PlayStation is selling more. And I just had to do the breakdowns on, bro, y'all sold 60 million supposedly and made 29 billion off of all your thing. Xbox sold 31 or 32, depending on who whatever. And they sold 23 billion. I said, and that's not even counting a full year of Call of Duty inside Game Pass and, pushing the game out and getting the money from there. And I say Call of Duty, I'm just talking about all the games that are in the Bethesda catalog and inside Activision, ABK, inside the Microsoft portfolio. I'm so sick and tired of separating them from ZeniMax and the Microsoft portfolio. That's without a whole year of those games. And I'm explaining to him, console sales doesn't dictate the leader. I mean, old rhetoric, that would, if that's your fighting point, I understand where you're talking from. But now if you're talking about MAUs and you talk about MTSs, you're talking about this stuff right here. Microsoft dominates in this area. Xbox dominates in that area. Xbox has over 200 million plus active users, and Microsoft as a whole in its gaming division has over 500 million monthly active users. That's not talking to microtransactions and stuff and so on. So when dudes take a peek into what the demographic is and what everything is, they have a weird view of it. So just getting back to what I'm saying is, if you say it enough, people believe it, and they believe that to be true. And I don't think that's true at all. I honestly believe that in this day and age, we all men should save the princess, right? Now, I ain't say save the H, right? I ain't say to save garden hose. I didn't say that. What I said was save the princess, right? We are made up fundamentally as men and women, right? I'm talking about I'm talking about science here. Let's get to science. Men are inherently stronger. Women are nurturing and caring. Women can do things men definitely can't do. Men can do things women definitely can't do. But men are supposed to protect and provide, right? That's cool. That's great. Women can do that for themselves. But if you mean to tell me if a woman is in distress in the street, you're not supposed to be a man and step up and do some form of intervention? I believe so. Right? And I believe if a woman sees a child alone in the street, she's supposed to comfort that child and try to figure out what's going on with that child. I believe this is fundamentally what's supposed to happen. So I don't believe in that rhetoric that nowadays it's not okay to save the princess. But this is not about saving the princess. She has her own game. We don't know the narrative of this game. We don't know anything about this game at all. So fundamentally, what we were sold on was this was Zelda's experience through the lens of Zelda with different moves, different traits, different things, and it would be completely different from a Link game. Now you introduce a sword. And in introducing this sword, does it change it from being a Link's game? Fundamentally, Link has a sword and a shield, right? To his base, to his core, a sword and a shield. He gets a crossbow, or he gets a bow and arrow, whatever, and boom. You pretty much have the basis of it, and then whatever MacGuffin they put into that story that year, he can turn into a wolf, or he can manipulate things with a crystal, or he has a tablet to do whatever. That MacGuffin comes later. But initially, he has a sword, a shield, and a bow. Now, Zelda has taken one of his utensils that he uses to be who he is. What up, Dip Down? What up, everybody? Live show on Saturday. I think I'm going to start doing that because the live show on Friday is for community. And I do like making videos, but again, I also do like the live shows. The live shows with the interaction with the people. I'm more about the conversation with everybody. That's what I'm more about. I want to know what's going on with everyone, opposed to just listening to Twitter where it's a toxic cesspool of ignorance being thrown at you, right? At least if y'all dudes come here, I can understand exactly what you're looking for, right? So yeah, it changes it. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry. That's a lie. So technically what you did was, you like the live shows? It's better to be honest. Thanks. Yeah, I get to interact more. And I'm trying new formats and stuff, right? Oh, did anybody see this thing here? This Rick and Morty anime thing? Oh my God, I couldn't watch it. I had to stop it. I had to turn it off. I couldn't take it. I had to turn it off. I couldn't watch that. But I just found this really hypocritical in what Nintendo was talking about with this, because all right, so check it, right? Turn that sound off so we don't get demonetized, right? If you're looking at it, it looks like that one Zelda game that I got for my Switch, and I really liked that game, right? I'm talking about art style. The art style was cool, and I thought it was cool. I forgot what the name was, because I hardly play my Switch as much. But they stole his art style, right? She stole his style, and then the world looks pretty much the same. And then she's using her own abilities. Like, let's get to her abilities, because this thing is 5 minutes long, and I'm trying to do 5 minutes more. Look at this. So you're looking at the world, and it looks like, she's throwing bombs. She's making little bombs, but she's able to make things, right? And that's cool. She's doing puzzle solving. She's doing this, that, and the third. And I thought that wand was what made it good. Right? And I'm like, okay, I can get with that. A little slower down version. You see, she's able to make minions. I thought that was cool. Sword fighter form. This is what I'm talking about. Bow. So now she has a mysterious sword. That was Link's thing. And she turns into Link with all of his moves. Shield, sword. Are we understanding exactly what they did? Literally, she replaced him. Easy. Look. This is an iconic character, a legendary character, a character that is revered, a character that is cosplayed, a character that is essential to the pillars of Nintendo. And now this character, there's a game made that he's not necessary. The replacement of our characters, that's... Could you imagine if Katana would have said, nah, I'm going to take over the Master Chief armor? and replace Master Chief and put out a whole game of that nature. Yeah, I got to watch the Terminator anime on Netflix. I'm going to do that today. I thought I was going to go see Beetlejuice today. Well, apparently Beetlejuice isn't out, so my wife and I got to go see something else. So we're going to watch something else. I think we'll probably go see The Crow. I heard The Crow is crap, so we'll probably go see The Crow and figure that out. But I mean, listen. I'm cool. I'm down with all the other moves and stuff that she's doing there. This part right here threw me off. It threw me for a loop. He said, first Joel, now Link. Bro, the agenda has been in for a minute. And I thought Nintendo wasn't going to bow down to it. I thought Nintendo would have fought it. And it seems like Nintendo is complicit with all of this. I need to know. I need to know how y'all feel. I need to know what y'all think about this because for me, I don't know. All right. PlayStation Plus could be the inevitable saving grace of Concord. My question to you guys, how ignorant is Sony? How money hungry is somebody? How money hungry is somebody that they don't see the forest for the trees? You gotta say to yourself, that should have launched day and date in your service. Yeah, listen, it's just a story. I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't care about that part. My thing is, as the game gets closer, now the truth starts to come out because you don't want outrage on that day. But that's for people that's just joining who's catching up to the stream. We're on to PlayStation Plus could inevitably be the saving grace for Concord. How money hungry is Sony that they felt that they needed to make a buck off of their fan base immediately? See, and I'm going to put you up on game, Sony. I'm going to put you up on game. I'm going to tell you how you make your game win. Now, if you wanted to charge, and if you felt charging was the only way in order for you to get your return off investment on a product that you invested at least $300 million into, between assets, anime, production, and all this other stuff, and if you have any licensed music and stuff in there, if that was the only saving grace, and I mean your only thing was to sell, I'm going to tell you how to sell. Microsoft does this all the time. You put the game in your service, right? For all the service owners, you make your service people feel special. Therefore, they're not there for a month-to-month basis. Like if it's good this month, they're there. If it's not good next month, they're out. You show them that you care. The Angry Therapist with the $2 super chat, making it free to play would have saved it. Yeah, let me explain. Because if some companies aren't really good to do free to play, let me explain, Angry. Like, I don't think they were built for the free to play model. The free to play model is you have to constantly have content and a roadmap for that game. You literally have to have at least 3 dev teams consistent of at least 50 people per dev team to keep that thing running, going, and moving, have servers all across the world in order to make this happen. If you want it to be successful, that's the free-to-play model. That's the game plan. You have to invest X amount of dollars in. You have to invest X amount of developers in order to get to the ultimate goal of revenue. Now, if you're not built for that, I understand. Cool. You made the initial investment of $300 million, right? You have the dev team that is probably consistently 60 people, tops, right? And you want to make this thing happen. Well, first and foremost, you make sure that your service get it first. The people that paid monthly. So that's an allotted amount of money. Those people are already there. So you can count on at least 2% of those people in your service patron your game. If you can count on that and you have at least 60 to 70 million people inside your service, let's say you don't. Let's say you have 20 million. Well, at least you got 2 to 4 million people playing your game concurrently, and it didn't look like what it did when it launched. Hear me out. Now, that's where it launches for free, and you sell it to everyone else. You put it on sale at Steam. You put it on sale at Xbox. You put it on sale in your store. You put it on sale in Epic Store. Hell, you even put it on sale at Amazon. So it's for sale all over. You make your money and you continue your product. But this ideology where you feel that you have to exclude certain members of the gaming community in order to get your buck, and that certain members is your core members on your services, you're doing yourself a disservice. That is not smart business acumen. That is not smart business logic. And in all actuality, that's a failed project. Limiting your project from the moment its inception starts, it's a failed product. And that's not something that can save it. And don't tell me after it's completely dead, after you squeezed all the money out of all the suckers that you was able to get, because the PC didn't fall for your crap this time like they fell for your crap for Helldivers. They didn't do it. Now you're at a point where, damn, what do I do? Hold on one second. Who's up there? You, get out. Get out. Go to your cage. Get out. It's Bella. You got to really understand, Sony has bad management. Poor management. This game was supremely mismanaged. Now, I'm not going to lie. Character designs, when you see them animate, are cool. Are they ugly? Yes. They're absolutely ugly. It's disgusting to see some of the characters, the thought wasn't there. Like, you could have made this character a little bit better. He looks like a ragtag version of a Star Wars character. You could have made him a little bit better. And I don't know why people keep saying Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, I guess because they're in space. But Star Wars is in space. So he looks like a Star Wars character. You know, a breed of alien or something like that. But you could have made him a little bit more badass. You didn't have to make him completely goofy, kinda not heroic, right? We play games to play with heroic characters. And I'm honestly going to tell you, he doesn't look heroic, and he doesn't look like somebody I want to step into his shoes, shoot his gun, handle business like that. I think from the beginning, you needed to make the normal, iconic characters that would resonate with people. Ultraman with the $2 super chat. Hey, what's up? A lying for the first time, which you like. Oh, okay, I see. Are you checking us out for the first time? That's what's up. What's going on, Ultraman? I appreciate you. Yeah, normally I do videos and I drop the videos and I premiere the videos. I do that, you know, to make sure that dudes have content. We talk about what's happening at the day. This was a slow news Saturday, but I did have kind of news. And I'm going to explain something with the Black Myth Wukong numbers, because those numbers aren't exactly what you guys think. And I'm going to break those numbers down, and then you guys are going to be like, wow, PlayStation really ain't moving and shaking like that. And the industry is trying to make you feel that Xbox is at a deficit for not having a game there. And we're going to talk about that. All right. But ultimately, the strategy behind Concord was done from Sony, from the inside. And I honestly felt that if they believed in their service, which I don't think they want to sell their service as much as people think. I think they really count on that $60 to $70 more so than their service. And I think that's a failed business model because you put that model in place in order to make money, not for it to fail. This is the problem that we have going on here. So my man, Tom Warren, Normal Game Media. What can I say about these dudes? Xbox is changing and it's confusing everyone. No, it's confusing you. And you're confusing everyone. I've never understood the rhetoric behind Microsoft needs to tell you what we're doing. They make a product. You like the product. You patron the product. That's it. That's it. Ultraman, the $5 super chat, my bad. I didn't spell check it. I meant to say King. Oh, what's going on? That's what's up, Ultraman. I appreciate that. You got me messed up. I was like, Ling, all right, we here. The strategy is sound. If you're listening, Game Pass is the strategy. Right? They want everybody in Game Pass, and they really want you in Game Pass Ultra. That core stuff is really for people that can't partake in the manner that Xbox wants you to partake in. So, Game Pass is the vehicle. Now that we know that Game Pass is the vehicle, the strategy is clear. Now, dudes is complaining because Indiana Jones. We had heard, because, a lot of times these guys write stories based on what they had heard and who they're talking to. We had heard that the game was supposed to be exclusive to Xbox, but we also had heard that they're in court. So we also heard that, Rambling Entertainment with the $5 super chat, vindication for Japan Studio, Marathon and Fair Game is next as far as Xbox is looking for a wide net to approach like all the others. Yeah, well, I don't think there's vindication for Japan Studio. And Marathon and Fair Games. The problem with Marathon, we're going to talk about the problem with Marathon and Bungie itself. We're gonna talk about those problems because that's a bigger issue. And Xbox casting their net far and wide. That has always been the case, right? I mean, do we not see it? Now, we can give you their strategy because apparently he just needed to write an article, and the article states that Xbox is confusing everybody. I'm not confused at all. I don't think anybody in this chat is confused. I don't think anybody worldwide is confused. I think everybody pretty much understands that, all right, you have Game Pass, you're pretty much good to go, especially if you're looking for first-party titles. Now, we pretty much already knew that games was going day and date to the PC. What we didn't understand was why are the games being placed on the PlayStation platform. Well, when they send over the 4 games, they said, let's see, we've got a litmus test. Let's check this out. Right? So they send the game over there, and we saw out of that litmus test, for all that Hi-Fi Rush crap that dude was talking about, that didn't sell over there. It didn't sell here, and it didn't sell there. Okay, boom. So let's go to Pentiment. Really didn't sell here, and it didn't sell there, but okay. They thought, see, what Microsoft did was like, well, maybe it's us. Maybe it's me. Let's put those 2 games over there. Now, you got to think about it. Grounded was in beta for a while, and Xbox, we were digging it, we were playing it, we were engaging with it, but I don't know if the sales reflected it. So let's just see. Let's put Grounded over there. Now, we do know Sea of Thieves has been a proven hit, but it's a 2015 game. Launched on Xbox One. And if it is a game of service, let's see how that works. So everybody had their own metrics and what they wanted to see and how they wanted to tell. Well, they figured out that as good as Hi-Fi Rush is and how critically acclaimed it is, it just doesn't move units. Okay, so we figured that out. As good as Pentiment was, it's a niche game and it just really doesn't move units. Okay, we put that there. Grounded, I still haven't received the grounded numbers, and I want the grounded numbers, and I think I got to talk to somebody else. I think grounded probably hit the middle. Pause. But that Sea of Thieves, though. That Sea of Thieves sold 1 million and outsold some of the main products that was inside the Sony store. For a while, it ranked number 1 to 5 in their services. So Microsoft was making a stream of revenue from their services. And they continue to do so because those people that have purchased the game and purchased the season pass, they are there playing. They're playing right now. That reoccurring bucks is happening. So if a game of service is there, you know when the new skins and stuff comes up, the engagement levels are high. The MAUs dictate so. So that went up by 1 million active users over there for that game alone. So they said, well, we're definitely going to put Doom across the board. Nobody cared about that. For some weird reason, I didn't hear nobody crying about that. But when Indiana Jones came up, because Xbox dudes that console war like myself felt this is going to be our fighting ground. This is what we're going to put up against your Naughty Dog. This is what we're going to put up against your Uncharted. This is what we're going to put up against your Spider-Man. We're going to show you. And then Microsoft came out and told you that was going to be on PlayStation. That burns. I don't like that, King. You know, new IPs. We want that to stay here. We want that with us. I hear that. But hear me out. And let me know if this makes sense, because I explained to somebody else and I don't think they understood what I was saying. Now, being that we don't know the contracts, we don't know if Disney has any contracts, because remember, it was a multi-plat game to begin with, right? It was built off a multi-plat framework. We're going to talk about framework in a second with Capcom, but this was built off of multi-plat framework regardless, so it was really plug and play from the get-go. So the fact that it was plug and play from the get-go, and we understand that, we know that to be true, now we know that this game had the flexibility to make it happen. And I'm pretty sure that went into the whole conversation behind it. But more or less, a game of this magnitude that needs to be seen across everybody's eyes, put it for our Game Pass dudes 3 months ahead of time, we give you 3 months. It's not going to take you 3 months to finish this game. You're going to finish this game way before those 3 months. And then that's an assumption. Those 3 months is an assumption. PlayStation dudes want you to believe the moment the 3 months is up, 90 days is up, oh, we in. It could be longer. Spring is a long time. It could be the end of spring. It could be the last day of spring. It could be anything. It could be 6 months. The fact of the matter is the conversation around it was the fact that it was going anyway. I didn't like them announcing it there. But Microsoft and Xbox, and I'm gonna be using the name Microsoft because when I talk about Sony, y'all understand I'm talking about PlayStation. So I'm gonna be using the name Microsoft when I'm talking about Xbox because that's the parent company. Those are the parents. Those are the people that own the situation. Microsoft's strategy has always been as many screens as possible. And now y'all heard Phil said wherever Game Pass is sold. Well, he had prior knowledge to the Amazon deal. He had prior knowledge to a lot of other deals. So Game Pass screens means yeah. But then games will be sold on other platforms because they already established a pipeline of revenue. Now, do they get a chance to see what those metrics look like? Is it every game? No, it's not. Like I explained before, it's a ton of games that will never make it to the PlayStation platform. There's a ton of games that will never make it inside Game Pass. So if you're not part of the Xbox platform, if you're not a part of the XWO, that's Xbox World Order, what's going on? Now, I got to give to our sponsor for today, right? And our sponsor for today is... Hold on. Let me get to my guy. My sponsor for today is XboxGamerPicks.com. Please go to XboxGamerPicks.com where you can get your next greatest gamer pick. Go to Graphic Guard where the only limitation is your imagination. That's XboxGamerPicks.com. Please go to GamerPicks and talk to Graphic Guard and get your best gamer pick today. All right. That's my man, Graphic Guard. He does crazy good work. Please go patron his store. I think he's one of the best talents that we do have. Him, Sean LeBray. Yo, Sean, I'm looking for that intro. I have an intro for Fight Night. And that's being worked on and being done. I'm reusing and reassessing the combat talk theme song, and he's crafting a good intro to go with that. Anyway, so it's not confusing. These individuals want you to believe that you're confused. You're not confused at all. And you know Microsoft wants to appease the FTC because they do want to purchase more developers. Now, do they purchase more publishers? I want to know if y'all think they're going to purchase more publishers. Studios that are capable to run on their own while delivering quality products. See, that's the difference between a developer. Some developers need a publisher. Some developers are a publisher, right? They work hand in hand. So you're talking about Capcom, you're talking about Sega. Those are publishers, right? But then if you're looking at somebody like Game Science is a developer and they need a publisher. So they're not wholly self-sufficient within their self because they needed Tencent to market and push their game. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into exactly the insidious stuff that has went on over at, not Game Science, at Tencent. Because I told you before, not all money is good money, and I'm going to explain exactly the problems. But right now we have the Angry Therapist with the $5, the Angry Therapist MD. With the $5 super chat, could Game Pass be on PlayStation using a web browser? Microsoft did that with the iPhone. Okay, no. You don't remember PlayStation like disabled the browser because of that? People had shown Game Pass running on PlayStation. Boom, knock that out. And I think PlayStation will be palatable to Game Pass being on their platform, and this is just an assumption, if they remove the name Xbox Game Pass. So I think at some point in time you're going to see the name Game Pass as its own, or Microsoft Game Pass as its own, opposed to Xbox Game Pass. Because if PlayStation, as petty as they are, sit down, Bella, sit. As petty as they are, they would probably want to keep the name Xbox off their platform, which is stupid. Please let me know if Xbox boots up on their system. Okay, you can stay, Coco. Bella, if you don't sit your behind down, you gotta go. You're not trustworthy, mama. Bella? ¿Qué tú haces, loca? Vete pa' carajo. Go to the cage. Go to the cage. Oh, show the puppy. Coco, come here. Come. They want to see you. Come, daddy. Come on. It's Coco. That daddy baby. Right? That's a Frenchie. That's Frenchie life. That's Frenchie life. But yeah, I think that they might be palatable, but as petty as Sony is, I don't know. All right. This here. The big story. Yeah, my grandmother's Puerto Rican. My grandmother's side of the family is Puerto Rican. My wife is Dominican. My kids are Dominican and black, and that's a whole big thing. No, and did they teach me? Thank you. Did they teach me Spanish? No, I had to learn broken Spanish from all my Spanglish friends, my Spanish friends. Yeah. Anyway, I grew up in breakdancing era where Puerto Ricans and black people were like this, like that. All right, I used to eat that coochie frito all day. All right, is Sony behind Black Myth Wukong's Xbox delay? Come on, man. Of course we know. Of course we know they're behind it. Now, some dude told me, oh, there'd be marketing all over the place. You stupid individuals. Of course there's marketing. The game is marketing itself. Now, let me tell you why they're not so open with it. Who's over there at Tencent? Sean Layden. Sean Layden is over at Tencent. And being that Sean Layden is over at Tencent, where did Sean Layden used to work? And I know you dudes is going to sit here and tell me he's salty at PlayStation. No, he's salty at Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan is gone. Jim Ryan is no longer there. He told you what he did when he was in control. Oh yeah, I'm West Indian too. I'm West Indian too. Trust me, I'm a mutt. Don't get it twisted. I'm a mutt. I'm a whole big mutt. So Sean Layden was mad at Jim because Jim snaked him. It's not exclusive to PlayStation, so just wake up. They don't have that much money to do that, and 10 cents is not stupid. Now, I'm going to break down the sales, right? Because let's say they're at 15 million. I'm going to give them a generous 15 million. I'm going to break it down. You PlayStation dudes ain't going to like it. But hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know how we do it over here. We're going to run it up on them bumps. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And I told you, bang, bang, Seagull Street gang early. Get down and lay down. If you don't like it, I don't care. I'm going to be the dude that's going to hurt your feelings because I'm 98% right all the time. You don't like me, but you better listen. Now, 15 million, right? So let's say 10 million is purchased by the Chinese government through Tencent, right? Now that is distributed through, and y'all got to get it together. You guys that are here in the USA really think that communist China is the same like us? Do you really think they have the level of free will that you guys have? Do you really believe that they're able to go and surf the internet and do all the stuff that you think that they... Are you that ignorant to not understand what communist is? And a level of a dictatorship is... Do you understand what a government controlled situation is? Yeah, of course we live in a police situation, but there's parts in America, boy, the police don't dare to go. The government will have a hard time running in there like that. They will get in there, but they will have a hard time running in there like that. I'm just saying, the level of ignorance that people show when it comes to believing what goes on in a communist country is insane. But I digress. Let me enlighten you. There's limits placed on gaming time. There's limits placed on product coming into the country. There's limits placed on each and every last thing. I.e., what is a communist? there's stuff that's happening there that you don't understand, stuff that I don't fully understand because I don't live there. That is not my government. I come from the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's what I salute. That's what I'm about. That's what I know. Right? And I'm pretty sure that everybody that's listening here, I'm pretty sure that you are living in a free country. Be it England, be it Europe, I'm pretty sure that you're living in a free country because you wouldn't be here talking and watching and engaging with me. Now, let's say the government purchased 10 million. Now, there's 5 million out there to be, hey, what's up? Now, we did see that 80% of those people were on Steam. So you take out a large chunk of that. So that 5 million, you break it. Boom. It's 2 million. That's 80%. It's 3 million for them. 2 million that's out there. You have other platforms in which you're able to engage in that. Epic Store has seen a huge amount of sales when it comes to Black Myth Wukong. Now, there has not been one title that has been garnered over more than 3 to 4 million on the PlayStation platform. And I don't think this is the one title to do so. So let's say this title reached 1 million like Stellar Blade. The other game that they money had it. Let's say that that game itself is money had it in this form. Did it work out? So let's say they sold 1.2 million over there on Sony platform. I don't know how much money that you will have to put out to money had a game or bully a studio into making you their own option for console in the beginning. But financially, did it turn out to something that was incredible, or is it a conversational talk piece by these journalists to make the Xbox fan base feel that they're missing out more than we believe? And then you have the story that, okay, the game was, how do we say it, bugged and messed up, and it had memory leakage. Now, is memory leakage the issue? Is it money had it the issue? Or did King have it right when he talked to the Queen about that same issue? Dudes laughed, ridiculed, disrespected, and pushed me to the side. I talked to the source. I got an answer from the source. And I brought that answer back to you guys. And it took somebody that didn't look like me to have the conversation to make y'all say, oh, snap, that could be true. So now, is it a part of who the messenger is that brings you the information that you don't want to believe? Or is it a more insidious situation, whereas you don't believe it unless it's somebody that is not as, how can I say it, accessible? Because people understand, I'm completely accessible. I have conversations with people. I'm at these shows. I talk to you guys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, so on. In the chat, YouTube. At no point in time do I treat you like I'm better than you. But you would listen to somebody that treats you like they're better than you, that gives you less access, and take that word as golden. But again, I'm just 98% right all the time. The Angry Therapist AMD with the $5 super chat. It was money by Sony. If it wasn't, why take Xbox name off the advertisement? That part right there. I'm glad that we have people in here that have critical thinking. I'm glad that we have people that's here that understands. That deal was facilitated by Sean Layden. You don't think Sean Layden sees the fiscals that's going on over there? He understands what financials is happening over at Sony and where they're headed. He understands that stuff. You said incorrect, Tony? Man, listen. Tony. My guy, Tony. I love you to death. And I think you just here to troll, Tony. I don't think you believe half the stuff that come out of your mouth. I don't believe so. If it walks like a duck, it's a duck. Tony, if it hisses like a snake and have fangs and venom, don't think it's a rabbit, because you won't wake up in the morning. It is what it is, Tony. And who cares? Because do I wish that Xbox would have money had in it? Hell yeah. But what did Phil tell you a long time ago? We're not doing that. When Xbox did that, and they did that in the 360 era, and they did that in the Xbox, the OG Xbox era, they switched that whole philosophy in Xbox One because they got to the Xbox One, they had nothing. The cupboards was bare. They had 3 franchises, 4 franchises. And they weren't able to be as mobile as they are now. So the reason why I say Phil Dominus Maximus really is Spencer first of his name, because he took us from nothing to something. Before him, there wasn't no Game Pass. Before him, there wasn't no ZeniMax deal. Before him, wasn't no Obsidian. Before him, there wasn't no Ninja Theory. Before him, there wasn't no ABK deal. Before him, none of that stuff was possible. Before him, y'all was looking at the brink and the death because of Donnie. Y'all had the pass through and you had NFL Connect or whatever. So I don't remove accolades from an individual that has brought Xbox to prominence. Xbox platform never made $22 billion in their life until now. They never outsold Windows until now. So I'm pretty sure that the ability to have that deal was on the table and they said, nah, we good. We'd rather take that money. And would you rather, and I'm going to ask you a question, would you rather them take $20 million and go buy an indie developer or help out an indie team to take a game and place it inside the Xbox store and that game goes to sell on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo or whatever to invest in an indie? And I'm going to tell you, because before you answer, I'm going to tell you what stuff like that is. Remember Stalker 2? Remember that developer was caught in the middle of a war and Xbox invested in them, and I'm pretty sure that investment helped facilitate this game coming to fruition. And the level of partnershiping that I saw when I was in California at Summer Games Fest, when we sat down with the Stalker 2 developer, when we sat down and had the conversations about where the state of the game was, and replaced, because it was right next to each other. And then Xbox came in, had a conversation with them. That was Phil, Matt Booty, Sarah, Jason Ronald, and them. They came in and they were talking to people. And while I was conducting different interviews, that's why you didn't see the Phil interview. I didn't. But me and Sarah had a conversation, the Queen. And me and the Wizard had a deep conversation. We got to talk. And we had a deep conversation. And I was talking about hardware. A lot of times, see, what I don't do is I don't press them for answers because I don't want that to be our interaction. I don't want our interaction to be one-sided, me looking for something from you, right? My conversations with a lot of these heads, if it's not on the record and it's off the record, is really about mundane life stuff and stuff that we talk about in life in general and stuff like that. But if we're talking about something that's on the record, and I tell them, yo, this stuff is on the record, but I don't need you to answer if you can't answer, but I'm just going to throw some stuff out there, and if it hits, it hits, and I just won't talk about that part. But I know some things, and I see that level of respect that they gave that developer, that help. And now that the game is coming out, Digital Foundry even went in and said, man, this game is moving and it's playing a whole lot better. And that's through help from Microsoft. And I believe without that invalued help, without those commitments, without pushing money into the right places, without that, games won't see the light of day or games won't get fixed. Now, do you feel that taking games and money hatting them exclusive to your console is good for the industry as a whole, the community as a whole? If that works for you, fine. If that's your thing, cool. As a console warrior, as a console fanboy, hell yeah, hell yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for all that smoke. I'm not going to begrudge you. As a community member, as a person that went out and brought Street Fighter on Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Turbo Graphics, as that kid, the game was available across the boards, and I purchased all three just to put them on my CRT to see which one played and sound better. For that kid that went out and spent and patroned each and every last console that he had, that kid doesn't agree with those practices. Because that kid at that time, yeah, I love my Sega. I was a Super Turbo Graphics dude, but I appreciated the hell out of Super Nintendo. So that kid, he loved everything. He played everything. I even brought Street Fighter Super on, what was it, on the 3DO and Super Nintendo just to see the differences. Just to see what played better, what was what. And I think I brought it on Genesis too. But see, the thing is, when you start locking stuff off of other products that is not homegrown, that is not intellectual properties that you've come up with and you've made, those exclusive titles like Ratchet and Clank, those exclusive titles like Uncharted, like Halo, like Forza, like Gears, those titles like Zelda, like Metroid, like Mario, those titles are yours. But when you start looking at third parties that are supposed to make money across the boards, and you feel that I got to lock this stuff off, I got to lock these guys out, I got to exclude the community because I have to show that there is only one way. The young kid don't agree with that. But you fanboys out there that need that list, that need that fight, that need that get back, that need that bite back, that think that they're going to stop the line in any way, because I see a lot, I think that hold the line hurt a lot of you guys, and I see it. I see you guys, hey, you still holding the line? Yeah, bro. Because I know by the next financial period, the only thing that you're going to talk about is how much consoles is sold. And if I'm going to give you an analogy for all my street dudes out there. First of all, for all my street dudes out there, Microsoft is the plug. That's one. So that conversation is really dead. But I'm going to give you a different analogy. Me and you pitching on the block. And you out there, you make more sales than me for the day. You done broke down at least 4 or 5 bundles and you done beat it. I beat it with one bundle. I'm out. And me and you at Mr. Towels eating. And I got the same amount of money as you. And you done broke off all your bundles, and I just knocked off one, and I'm eating with you. That lets you know exactly who I am and what I am. That means you hustling backwards. You selling more and getting less. And I'm selling less and getting more. Who's smarter? Who's the real genius? Time is money, B. And if you're selling more and you're getting less, I got to look at you like you're an idiot. And I'm selling less and I'm getting more. Now I need a plug. Who you copping from? You guys don't got no games and you're sitting there waiting for our games to show up so you got something to play. Indiana Jones is probably the most wish list waited for game on your platform. You guys ain't waiting for Ghost of Tsushima 2. You talking more about Indiana Jones. Do I tell you when a poison pill is a poison pill, what it do to you? It breaks you down from the inside. It makes you burn from inside out. Do you know what a Trojan horse is? Did you not see Alexandria and the fall of Troy? Do you not know exactly what we did to you? We got your community waiting for more Xbox games than they're anticipating and giving a damn about anything that's going on in that PlayStation. So what happens when you decide to put out a game and they say, remember that Indiana Jones that y'all was waiting for? And y'all dudes do this. Y'all gonna give out a date for a game. And let's say y'all do say, oh, it's Wolverine. Let's just say, new IP versus new IP. And you put that Wolverine out. And we throw Indiana Jones on your day. And we force your fan base to pick We force you to pick. Did that take money out of your house? Hell yeah, it did, because when it could have sold $4 million, it sold 2, because Indy took 2. And dudes ain't got that money every month. We're in economic crisis time, boy. So when we make you pick and choose, is that a point of contention? Is that a heartbreak for you? Hell yeah. Because that's less money for you to make games. That's less money for you to operate. And then you don't have the return on investment. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you look over and you say, damn, man, I didn't sell as much as I wanted to sell, and damn, man, I need to get this game sold someplace. What happens? Your modus of operandi is stupid. Xbox is doing exactly what I told you it was gonna do. They're gonna dominate the generation. You don't want to buy Xbox, we don't give a damn. We're going to put the game right over there in your system. And you're going to buy the game. And you're going to take away from what you would have normally purchased on that console. Because you want Xbox games, but you don't want to make the move. Then what happens when your whole library looks like Xbox games, you bot? I.e., the pony bot. So listen. You dudes know how we get down. By any means necessary. We're going to make sure that you purchase. We don't care. If a nickel bag is sold in a park, I want in. Y'all guys don't have a hustler mentality, and not one person over there is a hustler. Not one person over there is about that get money life. Not one person, because if you sold 60-something million units, and you're not selling 40 million copies of a game, you're wasting time. That's why Jim Ryan said you guys are not enough. That's why half the fan base ain't really there. That's why we think y'all watch Pornhub and don't continue to buy games. We understand exactly who you are. The loudmouths in the community just do this. While the real Xbox dudes, we're playing games. As you saw, we was playing games yesterday. I was playing games this morning. I'm going to go play games again after this. After we go to the movies and we come back, I'm going to shower shit and change. And I'm going to play some games. So y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. This is the part in the video. Oh, well, I'm going to tell you to like, follow, subscribe. And if it's your first time finding me, live, you know exactly who I am. I'm the 98% man. I'm that dude. That other dude make videos about this dude and try to change the narratives, because they know if you find this dude, you don't mess with that dude no more. Shout out to Bone Slave in the chat. That's my Cali family. He's the only one right now, I believe, that has this coin. He's the only one. He's the only one. He's the only one right now with this coin that has this coin. From my side. You know, shout out to Ben Kenobi. He's out there giving out coins too. I don't know if everybody else is outside giving out coins too, but shout out to Ben Kenobi, our benefactor, our secret benefactor, secret open benefactor that gets those coins out to us. I have a boatload of coins. Oh, sponsor for today, DoorDash. Get 50% off on DoorDash and $0 for the first free delivery of your order. DoorDash, bringing food to you all across the nation. I'm going to put this up right now. You can sign in with this code L8BXFQ. That's L8BXFQ. You have until tomorrow to put that code in to get 50% off on your next DoorDash delivery, courtesy of Xbox Frontline and the King. I'm bringing food to you. I'm bringing coins to you. I'm bringing entertainment to you. Share this out. Tell a friend and tell them, hashtag no PlayStation 6. We're going to run it.